Yes. Period.
Get up!
Oh my God.
Get up!
Get up. Oh my God. Kendrick brought hate back. And as soon as I heard this, I thought you would appreciate that hook. He was like, I hate the way that you walk, I hate the way that you talk, the way that you dress. I was like, ooh, my husband would love this. He loves hate.
I mean, I tried my best to do what I could, and you know what? I lied to everybody. I said when it first happened, I said, oh, Kendrick could have kept that. I was talking shit in spaces. That nigga ate. He went at his head. It wasn't too much that you could say. Like it.
Period.
It's still not a finisher. This was no way is a finisher in any way. But it was good. It was some good moves in there. I can't even be mad at it. So let's just get into it. Let's introduce the show. This is Talk FNF TV. I'm your host, Rhetoric, and I'm with my lovely and amazing and wonderful co-host, Miss Reality.
Hi.
All
Long time TDE stan. Period. Let's go.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna be insufferable today.
Yeah.
So we've been covering this Drake, Kendrick, and the hip hop industry beef for the last since Like That came out.
Yeah, it's been like it keeps giving. I love it.
And we've got a response from Kendrick, man. It's a tough one, man.
Yesterday,
I ain't gonna lie.
Kendrick dropped Euphoria, and it's been consuming my entire being since he dropped this song.
That's vile in the first part. I think we should just start with this title of the track is Euphoria. So if y'all not familiar, Drake is the producer of Euphoria, a show that hypersexualizes young girls.
Young people.
Well, I mean,
general.
it's high school. They're in high school.
Yeah.
So they're young girls. That's the one main thing. But
this boy's getting sexualized.
Yeah, but we're talking about Drake right now. So that's what it's leaning to.
Okay.
And a lot of folks, it was funny too, folks. I saw academics going through an article that talked about it. It was like, we don't know what Drake does on the show. It's just we seen him on set and then we didn't see him anymore. And I'm like, what happened on set, Drake? What did you do at Euphoria? What did you do day one?
We'll get into some stuff. Continue.
So, like I said, that was the first shot right there, was just calling it that, giving a little Google translator to it, and then it just starts. And at first, I thought I was lucky. I thought he doing this little slow jazzy shit. We done. We got this. We gonna come with a hit.
You thought he was gonna do that for 6 minutes and 23 seconds?
I didn't look at the time when I just pressed the button. I never even looked at how long the song was. And then that beat dropped. And like I said, I was like, we gotta assemble the light skins. We're in trouble. I already know. I felt like when Ja Rule and them first heard In the Club, I was sitting there like that. I was like, oh shit. He got us.
He definitely did. Kendrick he changed the beat twice. So it was 3 different beats. It was so many different flows. It was so many like double entendres. He was throwing direct shots. He was saying names. He was doing all the things that you want a rapper to do in a diss song. So, I want a rapper to do.
So I think we got to start and just go through the lyrics of this because it was a lot in there.
It was a lot. So
it basically started off by calling him a degenerate.
Yeah. He starts out by saying, I make music that electrify him. You make music that pacify him. So the people, the lyric breakdowners were saying that that's kind of like a shot at the low. How do I correctly say?
Well, you just say his advances at younger women.
Okay, yeah, taking shots at his interest in young girls, and that's why he was saying pacify him.
Because he did do the whole I could double down on that, and then you'll be an issue. But
yeah, and he said he was gonna give him that one, but I think if there's another round, then there's gonna be direct. You like little girls bars, like there's gonna be a Millie Bobby Brown bar. There has to be like. Okay, so the next one I have that stuck out to me was how many more fairy tales about your life till we had enough. How many more black features till you finally feel that you black enough. I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough. So he was like, "You're white." Essentially.
This was just very difficult to consume, very difficult to digest. I've been listening to it multiple times. He just went at his head. Like, it was just, there's nothing else that you could really go about saying about this. He went at his head. He came with everything he needed. You forgetting, there's a lot of shit in there you just don't even really know nothing about. Like, so when he says have you ever paid $500,000 for a case? So what that is directed to.
I was going in order, but go ahead, baby.
I think you already passed that.
Oh, okay.
Because you already went to a whole another section of it. But when he said that, he's talking to Drake because there was an alleged story in the Independent UK in 2017 where Drake was accused that had to pay a girl was like $350K, which is Australian dollars, and that transfers over to about $500K American. So that's where he was referring to, have you ever had to pay $500K for an open case? Because allegedly Drake had to overseas for a sexual assault.
I don't know why we didn't hear about that.
It was, like I said, it was paid off. And it was in Australia, allegedly.
Okay. Jesus Christ. He just over here all over the place, acting up. He said, yeah, Colin Aubrey, no, I'm selfish. No, I'm a selfish nigga. The crown is heavy. I pray they are my real friends. If not, I'm YNW Melly.
I don't like bars like that. I'm not really cool. I know a family member of one of the people who was killed in that. Like, I know the cousin of somebody from YNW Melly case. I hate hearing stuff like that because I know that person. He was a good dude. Went to high school with him, so I feel like that's kind of lame.
I'm sure he was a good person, but the bar was.
I mean, the bar was tough. I'm not gonna act like it wasn't tough.
Like, the bar was tough regardless.
I just don't play about when it comes to that because like I said, I know people close to that situation. So.
And then in the last song, Drop and Give Me 50. What's the name of that song? Push-ups. Yeah. Drake talked about Kendrick splits. So Kendrick came back and said, you was signed to a nigga that signed to a nigga that said he was signed to a nigga.
Well, that's
talking about Young
that's
Money.
That's a Pusha T bar. Pusha T already said that. That's the only thing. We're going to get into my criticisms of this in a little bit. Let me let you get your shit off.
We're just doing so get your shit off now if it's about what we're currently talking about.
No, it's just about, it's because he's done it he did multiple times in the song where he just took other stuff that other people said and just said it different. So, I mean, like I said, again, I'm not trying to take away from it, but the impact that we discussed that it needed to have, this wasn't it. Like, this can be a really good song, and he went at Drake head, and this was not enough to be what we talked about was needed.
Like a complete finisher.
This is nothing. Drake can respond to this.
Well, yeah, Drake is going to respond to this.
Let's go through the lyrics. Let's talk about the lyrics. Then we can talk about the ramifications of everything.
Okay. Well, yeah, I just thought if you had something to say about the Young Money thing specifically. But then he said, try cease and desist on Like That record. Oh, what? You ain't like that record. So apparently Drake tried to cease and desist Like That.
I did see an email that was allegedly going around that was supposed to be Republic asked. Because like I said, this is all in-house. Interscope and Republic, who Drake are both with, they're all in the Universal. So this is a Universal Civil War. So like I said, I'll get into that in just a little bit too.
Okay. This was like my favorite bar. He said, ain't 20v1, it's 1v20 if I gotta smack niggas that right with you.
Again,
I like that.
The writing allegations. Like I said, this is nothing new. Like these are just.
Well, I think the writing allegations are always going to be a thing when it's in the rap industry, and writing your own shit is very important. Like you get more respect if you write on your own. And the allegation that you don't write your own shit being substantiated over and over again, like, is kind of crazy to niggas. They gonna keep bringing it up because it's a form of disrespect. I mean, in this field specifically,
it is. But like again, we know Drake is putting pen to shit though. Like that's where it's just an allegation at this time. Yeah, he's going. There's some songs that he's getting a straight reference from, but we can't act like his pen hasn't been proven. It's documented and credited. His pen has been proven. That's why I said like the shit sounded good. The hardest shit on here was when he was going on about his kid. That was the hardest part because that is something most normal people can relate to in regards to easy shots at somebody in regards to that. Everybody isn't great. Everybody isn't great Drake. Everybody isn't going to be living the creme de la creme of their dream. And so that's where you can say, oh, yeah, you're not around your kids. Well, yeah, of course he's not going to be around his kids. Niggas out here being amazing. Like, around the country, around the globe. So, like I said, but that shit was hard. The way he just went at that nigga about it, it sounded good. Like I said, it sounded good to regular. This song, for people who like you, who are Drake haters, and who are like, not really invested in the beef that's going on, but they just like to be able to take shots at Drake. He really went at what people would say at Drake, what the common folk would criticize Drake about. The whole you white.
Yeah, he did say in the song that he don't have time to be digging up dirt on Drake because he's actually spending time raising his children.
Do we think Drake's not raising his son?
Yeah.
That's cap. The little boy around.
Like, he be posting them when he with him, but
Yeah,
like we don't.
Like I said, he with him.
I wouldn't be surprised if Drake wasn't raising his son.
I mean, he's raising him just as much as any other celebrity is. Like, calling the nanny and making sure a nigga alive every day.
He said, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this in. If I fight, it's going to be direct.
I don't see how I can't bring color. Like, people have been hating on our clips about the light-skin discussions I've been having on the show. How can I not bring colorism when you do that? That is literally hate from you just being light-skinned. Every light-skinned nigga has heard that from somebody who was a darker complexion from them.
Yeah, and in that same like realm of topics, he said he hates when Drake says nigga, and it's just cringeworthy. It's not that deep, but it just makes him cringe when Drake says nigga.
I can't believe niggas when niggas say that when they on songs with Drake saying nigga. So like I said, a lot of stuff sounded good to the ear, but once you really know what's going on, it's like a lot of it was funny business. It's just, again, low hanging fruit to go at Drake with.
What else? So he said, y'all think all my life is rap shit. Yeah, we talked about that. He got a son raised, but he sees that Drake don't know nothing about that. He said dementia must run in his family, but let it get shaky. I park your son. The first time I shot at Drake, the homie had...
That's hard. That's a hard bar.
Yeah. The homie had told me that aim it this way. I didn't point down enough today. I show you I learned from those mistakes. So he was basically just saying, nigga, these are direct shots. Like, you're gonna know that this is about you.
No, he went with that one. That was a tough one. That was one of the better bars in this.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the ones that everyone was going crazy over. And then there was a little Pharrell thing. I didn't know if, Drake like shot at Pharrell a little bit a while ago. So he said, I don't like you popping shit at Pharrell. For him, I inherit the beef. Yeah, fuck all that pushing P. Let me see you push a T. You better spin off again on him. You think you about pushing me.
So this is about Pharrell did an auction, and Drake had bought a whole bunch of the jewelry that he was selling at his auction, and then did a music video like flexing on Pharrell in the music video. So that's where a lot of that has come from. There's always been a little bit of static between the Neptunes and OVO. So that's where that kind of came from. And then also there was another bar you didn't mention earlier where he was talking about Tupac and about a ring. Mm-hmm. So that ring Drake paid. This is probably like considered the most expensive item in hip hop that you could buy. And that's what Drake purchased was a ring that was designed by Tupac. And that's what he was basically referencing. He was trying to get that ring from him.
Mm-hmm. And then while we're on the subject of Tupac, Tupac's estate sent Drake a cease and desist, or they said that they were going to sue him for the freestyle that he put out a while ago. I forget the name of the freestyle, but it had tailor-made freestyle, and it had a AI generated clip of Tupac's voice. And
that's not an accurate description of what it was.
What was it?
It was Drake using a Tupac filter over his voice.
It sounded like Tupac, and they threatened to sue, which is why Drake took it down.
I mean, he just didn't want to have to deal with the legalities of it, but
it probably just wasn't really worth it.
It wasn't nothing they could do really, like because his images isn't being used. You can basically argue that's not really his voice. Like you can hear Drake's voice underneath the voice modulator. Like literally, he just did it just because he didn't want to have to deal with the drama. That's why he took it off. Mm-hmm. But it was already out in the ether. Everybody had a copy of it if they wanted it. This wouldn't have been. That's why I don't like him saying the cease and desist in this song. Trying to shit on Drake for trying to get all extra political when you doing the same thing. And that's what Drake, that's where Drake's push-ups is just saying. Like, people don't understand. Like, that's all he was just saying is like, you're just like me. You're just not as good as me. That's literally what push-ups was about. You got the same kind of splits. You in the same kind of deals. There's nothing special about you as an artist that's different from me except your content.
Yeah, you're lyrically much better in every way.
That's debatable.
So he said, yeah, my first one, like my last one, it's a classic. You don't have one.
Not
Let
true.
your core audience stomach that. Don't tell them where you get your abs from.
That's it. And you had to do a good bar about the abs when you said that other shit, because that other stuff wasn't true. We know Drake has had classic albums. That's what I have to come here and defend Drake.
If you are like a snobby hip hop person, I don't think you think Drake has a classic
That's not
album.
true. Take Care, Views. Come on now. If you're reading this too late, like,
because I think I read somewhere that like To Pimp a Butterfly is still on the Billboard 100.
I'm not saying that it's not
to this day. Like, I don't think Drake has that type of like longevity.
Drake was on the billboards for like Drake has the longest streak from being top on the billboards
for a whole album.
For his music in general.
I don't think for a whole album.
That's
what I'm saying. The entire project.
He may not have had projects that's on their billboard, but he stayed on the Billboard chart for like it was like the longest streak ever. Yeah,
I'm just saying that it impacts me more that Kendrick's entire album has been on the Hot 100 basically. Does it dropped?
Is it impact you more, or is it just an ESPN stat that you can use to try to act like Kendrick is somewhat better of a total artist?
I don't think
package?
Stats make anything better. So no.
You brought up the stat girl.
Yeah, I just brought it up because I saw it and we're talking about them.
Yeah, but I mean, anytime you bring up them numbers,
but I always, whenever we have this conversation between Drake and Kendrick, I always say that the lyricism and the artistry is what's most important, which is why I like Kendrick more than I like Drake.
And what I say is that it's not that much of a difference. The degree from the difference is not as much as people want to say it is. It's literally just the content.
In the content of their music?
The content, that's it. That's literally the difference.
Well, yeah,
everything else is the same.
That's the most important thing because they're musicians.
Drake's, but y'all, people like, I'm not going to get too much into this because I've already said it before, but y'all try to undervalue the love stuff when it comes to Drake, but y'all would say it is the greatest thing if he was just a straight R&B singer. So that's why I don't get that. Like, when he's talking about emotions and feelings, that is similar to the uprising and things of that nature to Kendrick.
I feel like
I said in Spaces the other day, God's plan is we gonna be all right, all lives matter version. It is. That's what it is. God's plan is all lives matter versions and we gonna be all right.
Like, yeah, but like, okay. God's plan, you can play in the club. When I heard we gonna be all right, I cried. I cried. And then sometimes I still cry when I listen to that song. Depending on like what's happening in the world and where I am in my life, if I hear we gonna be all right, I'm gonna tear up a little bit. Not a Drake song has ever made me tear up. Maybe.
That's not true.
Maybe. I was gonna, listen. Let me finish the sentence I'm saying. I was gonna say maybe Girls Love Beyonce. That was my shit.
There's tons.
That was my shit.
There's tons of early Drake that put you in your feelings. Like, let's just keep it a bean.
But I've never been a huge Drake fan, so.
Because that's hate.
I've never connected to it that much. Let me tell you something. I was a Drake fan right up until he dropped Say Something with Dr. Dre. You probably don't even remember that song.
Is it Dr. Dre or is that Timbaland?
Timbaland, yes. They sound that's the same nigga in my head.
Them niggas from totally different coasts.
But he dropped that song and then it literally like Hot 97 and Power 105 played the fuck out of that song, and just the sound of his voice, I was just turned off to completely. I was just like, I don't want to hear this nigga anymore. But before that, I was a huge Drake fan. And then I just never really connected to anything he was dropping. Like, until that's what I'm going to say. I love a Caribbean Drake. I love when he steals other cultures' identities. Maybe Drake do a Haitian thing, pop out to Haiti. But yeah, I still.
You got to get Wyclef to come with him.
Haitians don't respect Wyclef.
I mean, Drake don't know that.
Like,
Drake just going with the first Haitian he know.
He should take anybody else.
I just think that like a lot of women, especially a lot of the black women, started to kind of fall off of Drake when his music changed from crooning about women to saying, I'm so on top that I really don't need none of y'all. Like that, when the music started changing to that, I think that's when he lost a lot of his core women fan base. Because people were trying to say he red pill and all that other stuff that he do in his music, emo, incel music, even though he can't be an incel if he's getting some, but none.
Do people say that about his music, that he's making incel music?
Yeah, people say that all the time.
I feel like he's making fuckboy music, but that's kind of one and the same.
It's not, because a fuckboy generally is actually fucking the girls. And
yeah, but do they not have like kind of the same rhetoric towards women?
Well, women just, anytime you're something a woman doesn't want you to be at that particular time, you're just one of those names. Like you could literally not fall into the description at all, and because you're doing something a woman doesn't like that you're doing, you just automatically fall into that.
Let's finish really quickly. He said, when I see you stand by Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad bitches. I thought that was very funny. He said, I believe you don't like women. That's a real competition. You might pop ass with them.
So there's another bar that you skipped over too, where he talks about he doesn't like that Drake makes these women feel like they're real women.
Oh yeah, he said.
So
that might be another.
That's
you
why I
like
thought
little girls bar.
I brought that up into the spaces. I said, are we talking about that he's saying that you're making women who are young girls and saying that they're women, or are you saying that the women that you're dealing with or what I call it the deplorables at the time? But are you trying to say they the hoes, they the joints? So like I said, it was a double entendre with it because again he associated unfortunately with both.
Yeah. And then did you see Joe say that he gets all his tea on Drake through his love of escorts?
I mean, Sin used to date Drake.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Sin used to date Drake.
The girls be pillow talking. We have learned from
Melissa
Chris Brown.
Ford used to allegedly date Drake.
Oh wow.
So I mean, yeah, he has a lot of insight. They literally have the similar type of women.
Yeah, they do. Well, all these niggas have a similar type of women for real. Like, it's a couple of niggas in the industry that date women who don't pass the brown paper bag test. Other than that, they all dating the same bitches. We know this for a fact. Like, but I was gonna say that we learned from Chris and Offset Quavo's beef that the rappers be getting tea with each other from pillow talking with each other's women.
Oh, we already
like
knew that.
and each other's hoes and stuff like that. Like, y'all niggas is messy.
I mean, it's part of the competition of the game. Like, and the women, y'all use it as a way to get on the good graces of the guy. Because if you saying all this stuff that he's saying, you filling up his ego, it's just all a tool of manipulation. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. They just get manipulated by the women. They're placating their egos. It's all, like I said, these guys, to be as quote unquote talented as they are, they get hoodwinked by the lowest IQ women on the daily. Like, these women just got to think for 5 seconds longer than them, and then they're going to get over on them because they just think so less of them.
Yeah, usually when people don't expect anything of you, you can get away with a lot. So,
yeah. And then, like I said, it's just,
who's really stupid in the situation for real?
So do we have any more lyrics that we need to touch on?
He ended it by saying, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more, which was the same, like, same melody as Kanye's Get 'Em High when he was like, we don't want to hear that weak shit no more. Same shit. Do you think, because he said that when he said that it's not just the way that he feels, this is the way the culture feels. How did you feel about that?
I mean,
because Suge Knight was like, yeah. What?
I think that it's clear that he spoke to a common group of people who, I'm going to keep it real. Niggas envy Drake. I'm sorry. Drake lives the life that we all wish we could have. Access to all the people that we wish we could have. So yeah, he speaks to people in a way that, yes, it's common, that this common language. It is. I'm sorry. Like, it's easy to speak hater to other people.
You think it's just like plain jealousy?
I think yeah. Not from him, actually, not him. I think that the angle that he's taking knows that people have a jealousness to Drake. Like, they envy his lifestyle. Like, you get upset at the only 36-year-old nigga who can continue to do the things that he do without getting the criticism that he gets, and everybody else gets it. That hurts your ego. That makes you upset. It's like, why do I have to? Like, I think about this a lot when I hear older people who are in Drake's circle criticize him, and they're like, they got families and stuff, and it's like, when I hear, you're like, damn, why do I have to settle down with my family and be out here? Why couldn't I be the rapper that's still going up and going strong in the club with no family attachments and things of that nature?
There's so many of those, though.
I hear that through the hate all the time with Drake. Like, that's exactly what I hear. Y'all want to do this. Y'all wish y'all could execute this in the manner that he does.
Regular people
and his peers.
I think it's kind of delusional for you as a regular person to be jealous of Drake. Like, you're not even nowhere near his atmosphere.
That doesn't stop people from being envious of you. When they see you at the top, when you're on every commercial, all this other stuff like that, when you're just the biggest whatever you are, people don't like that. Just like LeBron James. People criticize and shit on LeBron James all day.
100%. I'm a sane person, so I couldn't, like, initially wrap my head around being jealous of somebody who you do not know at all and isn't affecting your life whatsoever.
So you never seen like the girl with the wagon and she was getting all the guy attention or the attention of the guy that you liked and then didn't make
no, you know that girl and that's affecting your life. She's getting the attention from the guy that you like. I'm just saying a celebrity, someone who you do not know, like being jealous of Beyonce is crazy, bitch. You work at Waffle House.
Okay, I can do another example of this. So there's been women who dealt with me because I look like their favorite rapper. So the fact that I look like their favorite rapper may have took their attention away from another man and put it on me. So I can see somebody saying now I have an animosity to this famous rapper because the chick that I mess with left me for a dude that, like, there's stuff like that can happen. There's reasons why you can have.
Yeah, I just think it's all stupid reasoning.
But you hate Drake, so you have a hate for Drake.
No, I just think having jealousy towards a celebrity is delusional as hell. I don't like Drake's music that much. I don't enjoy it. And I think he's corny.
That's all hate.
He does pop out and do a thing that I enjoy once in a while. I need to max win. I like that a lot. I did. But generally, that nigga kind of makes me cringe.
That's hate. Shout out to the tweeter and the leaders out there. That's all I got to say on that. All y'all. Drizzy's coming. Like, so this is what I'm excited for. Because there was no jugulars thrown. There was nobody went for the okie doke for this Kendrick shit. That Drake can respond and it's going to be better than anything Metro could ever cook up. Like the beat is going to be going crazy. He gonna be singing on the hook. He might even croon on the bridge a little bit on Kendrick. Like what's coming is coming, and we got information. Like I can talk about a little information I found, just a little deep digging.
Go ahead.
It's called the Buzz. It was reported by the Buzz Cindy or Cincy, and they were saying
real reputable.
Hey, I'm just reporting
journalism here.
Just reporting what I'm seeing and reading when I'm going off these articles. And they brought up your boy Kendrick Lamar. Allegedly, they were speaking with a security guard, and they said that he was involved in an assault with a woman that left in what they quoted as a bloody mess. So, somebody said, I be with the bodyguards like Whitney. They got a guard here saying that Kendrick assaulted a woman, and some people have reported that potentially it may be his non-Negro wife. So maybe that's what Drake was referring to.
Non-Negro, like, is crazy. But that is also another thing that Drake can say. Because you're not married to a black woman, sir.
I just think that that's what's going to come out of this. I think that's what he was referencing to. Not that she was cheating on you with the security guard. That the security guard knows information that would be damning to your likeness. And that was reported out there. So I think that's what he meant about the whole fake story. Because let's peep this. He tried to say that Drake came up with stuff because of Mr. Morale, but he was also implying that those stories were fake. So then how do we believe anything you're saying on this album? Like I said, there's so much hypocrisy going on in this.
The stories on Mr. Morale were fake?
That's what he was saying, implying.
I mean, art is art. You can just make up stuff.
Yeah,
like,
but then you can't say
like
that you're real in the music.
Was trying to.
And you can't say you're real in the music if you're making up stories.
No, it's not your real story. It's not your story, but it is a story that needs to be told. People do that all the time.
Yeah, but
they weave together stories and narratives that they want to tell on albums.
I need to see the interview of him talking about this album, saying that it was all make-believe stories then. Because if I don't see it, you out here doing the hip-hop shit, that's supposed to be your story. You ain't Plies, nigga. Plies was telling his brother's story.
All right.
Is there anything else we need to get to? It's on 40 minutes on this.
No, I don't think there's anything else we need to get to as far as Kendrick and Drake. But I think round 1 goes to Kendrick, and then we'll see what happens in round 2.
What are your rounds consist of then?
Like that. Drake shit, the push-ups, and then this.
That's not a round. You know how rounds work?
Listen.
Literally,
I've been seeing Joe Budden said round 1 goes to Kendrick. So I was just going off of if everyone else is saying that this is round 1.
He's not going to give his Eskimo brother any props. So we can take Joe's opinion out of this, okay? The round is push-ups versus Euphoria. That is the round.
Okay, so round 1 goes to Kendrick.
I'm going to stay with Drake. I think Drake still came with the heater because he tagged on the Taylor made shit on the side. And the fact that he was taunting him and he had to, cry and get Tupac's family to go. Well, not Tupac's family, Tupac's estate. Because there's a white man that owns Tupac's estate. Look it up.
Why does a white man own Tupac's estate?
Because when his mom passed away, that's who she gave it to.
Why?
He didn't have kids. It wasn't like Tupac had little Tupacs around.
Oh, Lord.
Little Pockies. But, so no. Like I said, I'm still going with Drake. The reason I'm going with Drake is because I'm tired of everybody saying I'm sending warning shots. Send a real shot.
You didn't think that Kendrick was sending real shots in this?
He was sending warning shots. He even said it on there. I'm keeping it friendly.
But then he literally said that he wasn't bleeding him, and then he flipped it and then said a bunch of shit after that.
Yeah, but the bleeding
which were direct shots.
They were direct shots, but they were not big time. Again, we've already created the precedent. Pusha T is the precedent of a big shot. You are hiding a child was anything in here like that. Nothing in here was you are hiding a child.
You wanted to
That's the bar.
If your standard is salaciousness, then yeah, but my standard is just bars and rap shit and flow and metaphors and double entendres.
But these two are the best guys at that. So all that shit nullifies itself. It has to go through the salaciousness because these guys are two of the top at their craft. There's no point of saying who did X, Y, because we know they can do both great. You have to bring the one who's
Drake is not a top lyricist.
This has to. You sick as fuck. What are
Drake
you talking about?
Drake is not a top lyricist.
You don't even listen to enough Drake to say that. Because
he's not a top lyricist.
The
Drake I listen to is basic as fuck.
Because you listen to the pop. Because you don't listen to the B-sides. Are you listening to the 8 a.m.s and the timestamp
No,
records?
I'm definitely not listening to that shit.
So then you're not listening to Drake really rap.
The shit
That's where Drake really raps.
The shit I hear in the first place is watered down fucking nonsense. So
okay, you see,
and then there's once in a while I come across a song once in a blue moon, like every 5 years Drake drops a song that I like.
Okay, like I said, that's what you're hearing is the for everyone shit, the mid. But there is good gas once you go inside the store and you actually look at what he's putting out there. The timestamp records have all been epic, except the one he let his son rap on.
Kendrick don't have for everyone mid. He just have carefully curated.
Because he doesn't push himself to be the kind of artist that produces on a regular basis.
He doesn't have to because once he drops, it stays on the Hot 100 forever.
Okay, cool. Because you're pulling on the heartstrings of oppression. That's cute.
He's not pulling on the heartstrings of oppression.
Yes, he is.
Because we gonna be all right is not pulling on the heartstrings of oppression. Yes, it is.
That's literally what his whole charade is pulling on that. It's being the advocate. That's what it is, right?
Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. That's the word I'm trying to figure out to make sure I'm saying.
I don't know what point you're trying to.
He's trying to be the activist that doesn't fix anything. That's who he's trying to be. The activist that doesn't fix anything.
I don't think Kendrick's trying to be an activist.
Yes, oh my goodness. He's trying to be a pseudo activist.
He's telling the story that he went through.
Yes, and like I said, he is wearing the costume of a fake Huey Newton. Like that's literally what his whole appeal is.
I don't think so because he's not going out and trying to like actually change anything. He's dropping albums that are culturally.
Actually, he has been seen at events and things like that. But for that to be the statement that you utter shows you how much of a farce it is and a hypocrite he is.
He doesn't have to do that. You can just be an artist who is educated,
Is
and
that what No Name said?
You literally.
Is that what No Name said?
I don't know what No Name said. What did No Name say?
She said to J. Cole that y'all speak this kind of pseudo language of it, but y'all aren't actually doing the information and doing the work out there. She was very critical of that. She even said him by name. I think she even hinted at Kendrick in that too.
She probably did. Like, but I don't think he needs to be in the streets. I think the job that he's doing is significant enough.
I disagree.
Making people have conversations.
I disagree. Like I said, I feel like just as Drake pulls on hedonism and things of that nature in his music, he does the same thing with racial oppression, things like that. So he takes, they both pull on that.
And then not every album is like that either.
Like I said, there's Damn wasn't like that, but for the most part, that's his
each album
image.
is like a different part of his life.
Yeah, again, I'm not saying that. Where you keep trying to make it so microscopic when I'm saying the overarching theme that he presents is that. He is that this person.
Yeah,
of
I
the
disagree
people.
with you.
That's not, it's very much so in the details of it, if you look at it.
Because he had one album that was very heavy on like that content matter, but that was it.
And he still rolled with that identity though.
The first one was more about hood shit, and then he had the super conscious album, and then he had like the Black Men Go to Therapy family album. Like it was all three different.
And I don't see how you don't
three different parts of Black manhood.
I don't see how you don't all see how that slides into each other. Like I think you're willfully not looking at it, but all of that, like whole conversation.
I don't think all of it falls into oppression.
Yes, it does. Literally, Black mental health. We just said going to get therapy. That's a big problem because that's been taken away from us. What was the second one you said? With Damn? You said it was the mental health father. What was the other one?
The first it was more like his like
the gangster
his
shit.
young hood antics.
That's all oppression right there.
Like
he's not talking about it
him getting herpes or not herpes and like
oh shit
fucking this girl and this and that. Like that was the first album. That was like young hood stuff. Like him working at like Burger King and quitting his job and this and that. Like that was that album.
Yeah. If I have to explain it more, I don't see how you don't see it, but you just willfully don't want to see.
I think you're watering it down. Just I'm
generalizing it. I just literally said
it's not his body of work isn't about oppression. It's about blackhood,
which is associated with oppression. Literally,
blackness with you.